Welcome, everybody, to the season finale of the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. I'm Carmen alongside me, Kevin Young, to present race 16 of 16. The chase for the Cup comes to this point. 3 drivers battling for a championship here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. We welcome everyone here. Wednesday night coverage has never been more special. Kevin, this is a track that a lot of drivers love. Progressive banking, 1.5 mile tracks, a unique feel. What are the drivers looking forward to tonight?
Well, it's going to be an interesting situation. Highline is going to be, it's one of the few tracks we see on the calendar where you can run the Highline and really, like, I guess the best way to describe it is coming into tonight, a lot of drivers can run the Highline. It's part of the game plan and will run the Highline to its extreme levels they can. Some will ride close to that wall. Others will be a little bit less daring and try a little bit more of a middle groove to middle to high. But we're going to see drivers trying to fight and prioritize over lines to try to make passes work. And at the end of the night, one of these drivers here in this field tonight will walk away with the AdminBoxx Cup Series Championship.
Absolutely, and obviously be remiss not to bring up the point situation as things currently run. Top 12, all marked in orange. They are the chase drivers, and it's all at the top. John Hagen, with his win last week, has the advantage over Lilac Zero and Christina Ryan, but it is far from over. A race win would help him out. He's currently leading the points. He's currently in the practice standings right now, but it is guaranteed to be a fight here this weekend. Hagen again leads with 3,509 points. 29 points adrift, Lilac Zero, Christina Ryan, just a further 1 point behind. So that'll be an interesting little battle to follow along here. Again, 30 points. That is effectively, as far as I remember, I'm excited to make sure I pull up the right points here.
Yeah, because I got, for my connotations, Christina's only 20 points back and Zier is 19.
You may be right on that. I can't math.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so that's effectively first and fourth is where that flips. So
Yeah.
if Hagen finishes fourth and Christina Ryan wins, it flips things upside down a little bit.
So a game plan right now, John Hagen, he knows what he's got to do. Win the race would obviously be the easiest thing, makes all this math easy. Second thing he has to do is finish ahead of both Christina Ryan and Lilac Zero.
Yeah.
If he can do that, he will walk away with the championship. If not, there's other scenarios that come into play depending on where drivers finish, how high they finish, and other things that can be calculated through the night. But that's the easiest thing to say right now. And remember, there's also bonuses for, not bonuses, but you can be tax points if you don't have clean races. So it's worth noting in that front as well. If you rack up a lot of incident points, you could also be in bad trouble as well.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we saw at the top 3. It should be also worth noting as well, there's another little fight forming on down the ladder as well. The cut line, obviously, with the cars in the race tonight and all that, is between the top 3 of Hagen, Zier, and Ryan. But the battle for fourth is still kind of strong here between Ruby Acosta, Nicholas Presley, and Zach McBride. Acosta has a 5-point lead over Nicholas Presley and a 9-point lead over Zach McBride. So both cars in question are fighting to try to be who will be the first driver, you could say, off the podium of the championship standings. But all I know is for a fact is in the championship or not, they're going to go out there and fight and have a good time here tonight. Emily Howe, a good example. She was looking like a championship favorite, but just was sick, missed first round, then also missed the last round, and that was all she wrote for her championship hopes. But has the most wins in the AdminBoxx Cup Series, rocked up 7. So she's a very strong driver, and she's looking to make it 8. And even though she won't have a championship, she's looking to cement herself as the most winningest driver in the AdminBoxx Cup Series in this season.
Practice about to end here at Homestead-Miami. We're about to jump into qualifying. Again, it's John Hagen, Emily Howell, Philip Snipes top 3. Then Christina Ryan and Nick Presley are running up the top 5 here at Homestead.
This is a crucial qualifying. Oh, as we see Emily Howell take a last-second flip there as practice comes to an end. But this qualifying is a bit crucial. You do not want to make a mistake and have to come through the back. We've seen it week in and week out where cars have had to come from the back, have gotten other people's mistakes and other people's issues. So you want to make sure you start towards the front, but kind of counter to that, like Zier, for instance, last week started kind of poorly, and she was able to get that car back closer to the front. So it's not a death sentence if you start back, but you're putting yourselves with a better chance of being in an accident. So you want to make sure you nail these 2 laps, or at the very least, put down 2 laps and not invalidate both of your runs.
And they have qualifying at the moment. Doing a phenomenal job so far. Again, 7 wins this season. Including last week's race. No, last week's race, Phoenix.
Yeah, that was John Hagen's first win. That's 7 wins and 6 poles for the car we're watching on our screen right now. He's done the most in both categories. Most top 5s as well, so she's looking to try to finish the season on strong. Right now, top of the board. Then it's Philip Snipes and John Hagen. Bit of a distant third. Lap 2, though, could be the money lap here. You see if the second lap sets up for the first sets up the second, I should say.
Rounding out turn 4 here. Coming to our finish line, and Lehal across the line. What does the lap time look like? It's even better, 32.86.
Everyone else crossed the line here. Improvement for John Hagen. He'll jump up the second. And the first of the 3 championship contenders has put down a time, and that puts the ball in the second one. Lilac Zier, currently second in the standings. She will be the second one to set a time. And she's looking to try to get that car on pole position, or at the very least, finish start ahead John Hagen. She's running a bit of a different line here. We've seen a lot of those cars run close to that wall. We saw Emily Howe do that, John Hagen as well. She's running a bit low for her first lap. We'll see if she keeps that same plan for the second lap here, or she maybe try to venture a little bit. Looks like she'll stay to the low end of the apron. She feels confident on the inside line. See what that does. 4th fastest with a 33.31. It's going to have to find at least 3/10 to catch John Hagen. And about a little over 4 attempts to try to get Emily Howe.
Pressy on track as well. The next car to set a qualifying time here at Homestead. Round the last corner, an improvement, but not enough to gain any inroads. Will stay 4th behind Philip Snipes.
Does give herself a lot more of a cushion to make it harder for her to be jumped. Nicholas Pressy just finished his first lap in that number 94 machine. 2 career ABN race wins. Came close at Bristol earlier in the year, getting his first win in this AdminBoxx Cup Series. Maybe trying to finish it up. He's got many poles, though. He's had a lot of good front row pole runs. So we'll see if he can put another 94, Rocket 94, on the front roll for the second lap here. Also running the inside line here, similar to Zier. Look at that 94 machine. Can he use... Obviously, the second lap's probably going to be quicker. Let's see if he can jump anywhere close to the front, cross the line. It's only going to be good enough for P5. He'll jump his teammate in Bryce Osier, but will be in the 3rd row of the grid. So with some time has passed here, about to be at halfway here, as we're just ticking close to that 5-minute mark. But 6 drivers have set times right now, leaving only 2 drivers yet to set a time here. One, Zach McBride, who usually does not elect to qualify, and Christina Ryan. The last of the 3 championship rivals here. She usually likes to go out late. As the sun sets, she's going to have the track pretty much all to herself when she elects to go out. We'll see what that number 80 can do. Already a world champion in one ABN competition, the champ car side of things, looking to make it a twofer and be a champion in another sanctioning body. But only time will tell on that one.
Let's keep our eyes on all the activities here. Zier's still running laps at the moment, just running some extra practice going on.
She's done that most of the season, and honestly, I respect it. It's a good practice, and it's really paid off for her. So, again, you want to get as many laps as you can, really get a grip of this thing. This car can be a handful at the best of times. She'll have this and then 10 minutes of warm-up, so take all the time you need. Zach McBride has spawned on pit lane, but has not left pit lane. Still no sign of Christina Ryan. Since we have this little bit of downtime here, Carmen, I will ask you a question. If you were running these cars right now, would you be looking for the top line or the low line?
I prefer the low line. It's not the faster line, but it's more stable. And for me, it's easier to be more consistent on the bottom lane. Like, that's just my personal preference. Like, and I feel like the bottom's going to be where you save the tires the best.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure on that.
I'm more of a person. I'm more of a top line guy myself. I like that top line a little bit more. I think it's gonna be faster, but it's riskier in the sense you're flirting with danger, and the tires are gonna wear a bit more. But you can make it work, especially if the others will let you use it. Zach McBride and Christina Ryan both on the track. Zach McBride just started his lap, but all eyes right now on the third of the three contenders for the championship. Christina Ryan rocking that 80 Pennzoil machine. She's coming to start her first to 2 laps here. She needs to beat a 32.89 in order to get pole position, and she needs to beat a 32.94 in order to get on the front row and bump John Hagen to the second row. She's electing to go topside, similar to Hagen, similar to Emily Howe. Already floating a little bit out of 2. First lap's could be a bit indicative if it is fast, but the second lap's going to be the lap that's going to set the tone here. First lap in the books. It's only going to be P5. P6, sorry, P6. Just got to pick up her time, but remember, John Hagen was around the same tenths when he started his first lap. It's around the same times. We'll see what he can do. We'll see what she can do if she can get closer. Zach McBride finished his second lap. He will stay P7, but will improve. Now it's going to be the answer for pole position. Will it be Christina Ryan or will it be Emily Howe? One of these two females will take pole position, but which one will it be as the 80 crosses the line? It's going to be an improvement, but it's not going to be much. She'll stay P6. And that, with all cars have officially qualified, that is how the order is going to stay. Emily Howe will get pole position, and 1, 2, 3 in the championship will be 1, 2, 3 in order of how they valued, with John Hagen the highest out of the 3.
And for those reminder, the points as they currently run, we'll see if we can make sure we get this all pulled up here. Maybe it wants to cooperate.
Yeah. Oh.
Can we get it to pop up? Maybe.
Come on, STK, work with us here.
Right. Oh, gotta love the
Well, I guess
technical issues.
Yeah. I guess while we wait to let that load up here, like as qualifying does still finish up here. Got 1 minute to go.
Just gonna lift. There we go.
There we go.
Again, points as they run right now. John Hagen, a 19-point advantage over Lilac Zier. Christina Ryan, 20 points behind the championship lead. Ruby Acosta, not present for tonight's race. Leaves everything up to gamble between Nick Pressey and Zach McBride for the top 5. Josh Gaiman, also not present tonight. Kelly Height, Emily Howe. Emily Howe on pole position, getting 5 points for pole. Caitlin Height in 10th. Blake Henderson and Toby Estes running up to 12 that were in the chase for the cup. Bryce Osier solidifying him as the best of the rest in 13th place, missing out on the chase, but currently sitting in 8th place here in qualifying.
So again, to keep it simple, if John Hagen finishes second or better, again, bearing any other penalties, what have you, he will end up walking away with the championship no matter what any other car does. If he finishes third, it would be tiebreaker procedures with Christina Ryan, and it would be a win if Emily. It would be tiebreaker procedures with Christina Ryan if Christina Ryan wins, and it would be a 1-point victory for Lilac Zier if that happens. So John Hagen knows the game plan. He knows what he has to do at the bare minimum: finish first or second. Title is yours. Anywhere else, and it's up in the air depending on where the rest of the field finishes. As for Christina Ryan and Lilac Zier, win the race, and it gives you the best of odds depending on where that 52 finishes. So now we officially enter warm-up here.
Couple cars on track, Christina Ryan and Emily Howell.
I'm assuming there's a driver's meeting?
Yes.
Or is the driver's meeting?
Yeah, we're getting ready to do the driver's meeting, so we will go quiet here in the broadcast so we can take care of driver's meeting. You'll hear ambiance from the track, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Drivers meeting, short and sweet. Everyone knowing the drill here tonight. Everyone knows what is at stake here in the final race of the season. Bryce Sost, you're currently top of the board.
Yep. One of only a few cars that have gone out there, but he should still be worth noting at the very least. Did lack a little bit qualifying, but obviously not indicative of race pace. He does get a little loose there and spins it, so maybe shouldn't try to jinx him there, but we'll see, as he has shown some good race pace. Remember at Champ Car Finale 2 seasons ago, which was the one broadcasted, he did end up winning that race, so he is good at finales. Different machinery, but he definitely knows how to bring it when the lights are on the brightest. Focus on Christina Ryan, only car out on the track, along with Emily Howe. Christina Ryan taking advantage of this warm-up the most. She has done 8 laps so far. About to push to 9 next time by. Next closest one is Bryce Osier and Alex Zier, both doing 5 apiece. So Christina Ryan kind of kicking herself maybe a bit for qualifying. Wants to get as much practice as she can, that 80. And she's going to do it by using this last bit of warm-up here in 4 minutes and some change. Carmen has in the chat, and I will read them out personally as well here. She has gone over the scenarios for clinching, depending on the driver count and all the other things here tonight. Similar to what we were kind of saying in the broadcast earlier, if John Hagen, if he finishes 3rd or better, he's the champion. If Hagen finishes 4th, Zier and Ryan must bring home that victory. So a podium is all John Hagen needs. And it kind of goes into a weird indicative situation as a driver. You know what you need to do. You don't need to go all out, but it feels counterintuitive as a driver. You want to go out there and drive hard. You want to go out there and win. You want to win this race and win the championship, but you also don't want to end up bidding the car or make a mistake, whether speeding on pit lane or what have you, trying to chase that mythical dragon or actual dragon, trying to chase a win. So it's going to be interesting to see how Hagen handles this. Ball's in his court. How aggressive will he be? How conservative will he be? Only time will tell. And we'll find out over 134 laps, which will kick off in about 2 minutes and some change. That's going to be gnawing on Hagen a little bit.
Watching Philip Snipes right now, the 98 car. 2-time race winner in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling down pit lane now, practicing pit entry. See a lot of drivers do that here in the remaining 2 minutes.
It can be easy to spin it, or it can be easy to speed. And with this series' proficiency to have green flag runs, we don't see cautions, especially in the past couple of weeks. We haven't really seen cautions that often. The drivers have kept it clean, they've kept it green, and it's made green flag pit stops all that more crucial to make sure you get right. Nicholas Pressey goes top of the board, so right now, as warm-up's coming near an end here with 1:40 to go, it's a 1-2 for Nicholas Pressey E Motorsports at the top of this warm-up board.
Yeah, very interesting how different the times are now in warm-up compared to what it was in practice and qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you look at John Hagen, who's not set a lap. Emily Howe's not officially set a lap either. Emily Howe's been practicing pit entry. So that will skew things a little bit. But we are going to see an interesting fight tonight.
Big lick there for Emily Howe there. Deck leg bouncing. So it's warm about to finish up here. 10 seconds to go here. Nicholas Pressey bearing any last second changes here. Will finish warm up top of the board. We'll see if he can carry over that momentum into the race. Nicholas Pressey second and Christina Ryan third. Alrighty, it is showtime.
Absolutely. 78 degrees the air temp, 78 degrees the track temp here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. The finale of the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. 10-mile-an-hour winds. Little breezy here tonight, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue for the drivers that have full access to the bottom and top lanes here at this 1.5-mile speedway. A lot of humidity makes it a little bit stickier, makes it a little bit easier for drivers to grip no matter where they want to be, and that's going to be helpful tonight. Starting grid, only 8 cars present for the finale tonight, but championship battle has not been closer. Emily Howell leads us to green, pole position for her, but it's John Hagen leading the championship, trying to seal a championship in ABN competition. Philip Snipes and Lilac Zier in row 2. Zier second in the points. We'll have to try to contend and get around that 52 car tonight. Nick Pressey and Christina Ryan in row number 3. Christina Ryan sitting the furthest away from the championship lead, but we've seen her in this position before, and she's come out on top. Can she do it again tonight? She starts 6th place ahead of Zach McBride and Bryce Saucier. This 8-car field will be competitive all the way through across 134 laps. Points as they run tonight. It's John Hagen again leading by 19 points over Zier, 20 points over Christina Ryan. Bonus points are available for leading a lap and leading the most laps. We'll try to keep all of that covered for you here tonight. But there's your top 18 in points entering this race. And the entire field is in this screenshot. Saucier 13th, Snipes in 16th position. Snipes pretty well locked into that 16th spot. Saucier locked into 13th officially. With Peltier Sharp not present, neither is Ryan Pinnell. And Emily Howe and John Hagen leading the field to green. It's the last race of a 16-race season. The AdminBoxx 200 from Homestead-Miami is underway. We're racing in Florida.
John Hagen gets off to a great start there. Emily Howe got a little loose. She'll slot in the second. Battle for third rages on. Zier looks like she'll be able to clear Philip Snipes, and she will. Christina Ryan there also side by side with Nicholas Pressey, just in the top 5.
And we'll go into the bottom of the track early. Lap 1 underway and in the books.
Very size and smooth sailing as the rest of the cars begin to kind of fan out here. You can see Saucier on the high side there, going to end up losing a spot or two. Pressey going to slot up here. Big battle there in the back between Pressey, McBride, and Saucier. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All that's a cool shot we're looking on right now as we follow Philip Snipes. Listen to the kind of comms here. Hagen did say something about the setup, saying it's night and day in comparison. Maybe he feels more comfortable with it. Maybe he feels a little bit worse. Regardless of that, 52 is still kind of pulling away here at the moment. He is slowly reeling in Philip Snipes here. As you can see, she's getting those runs. Right now, she is obviously the lowest out of the 3 in the championship hunt right now. She doesn't want to allow Hagen, nay, Zier to get too far away here. Nay, anyone ahead, obviously, you could say, but that point is Zier gets a little loose there. You can see in the shot, trying to chase down Emily Howe here. It looks like Ryan's going to get a run here on that 98 machine. Inside line for the 80. Looks like she should get the run to clear off the corner here. She'll slide on up, and she'll get it done. Christina Ryan will now be up to 4th position. There's Soser getting a little loose in the back, but he'll keep it pointed in the right direction. Top 3, though, all bit in a blanket right now. Emily Howe is slowly reeling back in John Hagen. Gap is basically under 2 tenths. Top 3 is starting to get a little bit of breather with Christina Ryan here, but Christina Ryan is still keeping that honest. About half a second gap between 3rd and 4th. Well, 1st in the leader, and indicative of that about 4 tenths. Emily Howe going to get a run here, possibly. She is on the back of that 52. She usually doesn't send runs this early, but you can see right there, she's kind of testing the waters a bit. She's getting the runs off the corner she needs to, but usually what we've seen so far this season, she kind of gets a run, and then she lays back a bit. Doesn't want to press the issue right now. Maybe force Hagen into a mistake, or just kind of wait until she has no other choice. Here again, she's going to go low. Hagen trying to cover down here, and he'll get down there. I don't think Emily Howe will be too pleased with that, but he's going the right direction. Emily Howe, though, going to get the run here off. She's going to stay side by side. Now she's going to pull back in line. She's just kind of telling that 52, hey, I'm here, and I can get around if necessary. Flashing the cards, if you will, a little bit. And it's something that probably sits in the back of John Hagen's mind just a bit, as you can see again, Emily Howe kind of just letting getting John Hagen's head a bit. But something that sits in John Hagen's mind maybe a bit is that he hasn't been able to beat Emily Howe yet really this season. Every time they've had a duel, the advantage is favored Howe. Now, obviously, championships heal wounds, but with the last race of the season, Hagen maybe looking to try to best Emily Howe at least one final chance here, even if it may put him in a bad spot championship-wise. Still wants to try to win away the 83, but side by side, speaking of the 2 cars they just mentioned, still side by side. You got a Chevy and a Camry. Toyota Camry. 83 still going to try to drift up just a bit here. Not going to get really the run off she needs. Till she gets to the exit, though, and that's where she's going to push off here. Howe will lead that lap, and Howe will clear Hagen. Emily Howe now takes the lead in this race. Pole sitter up to the lead in lap number 10. And you can see in the wide shot how this field's getting a bit spaced out. You can see this top 3 all kind of covered together. And then Christina Ryan kind of just there a little bit, still within touch distance. And then Philip Snipes a little bit further back. And then it just starts going a little bit farther, a little bit farther, a little bit farther. But this top 3, even top 4, you just stay all close. So we started lap 11. To the point where, again, driver's going to try to get a rhythm here. First pit stop window a little bit ways away right now. Don't want to burn up yourself too much, put yourself in a bad spot, because I've seen championships won and lost because of bad strategy calls. So you do not want to make this a bad strategy by pushing yourself on a bad spot by overburning the tires or basically wearing things out too much. We'll see if Hagen maybe elects to stay second, or obviously, like I said earlier in the broadcast, the racer in him wants to maybe try to go to the front here, if he can get around, that is. Because I think every driver in this field wants to be in the front, but not everyone can, because obviously pace and among other things. Although holding it strong down that time by, favored Howe by a 10th. This should be worth noting, out of the top 3, Hagen was the slowest. Speaking of the car that was second fastest on the track, we'll look at Lilac Zier, giving us a nice little onboard shot here. This will show us kind of just the ride along, if you will, being the car in 3rd place. Look at that. Hagen goes up track just a bit. That's going to allow Zier to kind of get a little closer. It's about getting the best runs you can off corners and setting up on drivers' mistakes if mistakes are made. Because we've seen, even at the best of time, these cars can be easy to make a mistake. And if you're just caught lacking a bit, it's about maximizing what you can do. There's a little in-cockpit shot, a view inside the cockpit of John Hagen, Jacob Schenkel Racing. Get a little Mario helmet going on here. I don't know what obviously John Hagen's thinking right now, but at least his virtual self looks calm, cool, and collective. Yeah, lap 16. Seen the long shot there. Christine Ryan has fallen a little bit back. But we're going to see a possible move here. John Hagen thinking about wanting the lead back here. Going to take the low line here. It's a risky play here. He's going to try to either stay close side by side and just set himself up slowly, or he's going to try to slide job his way up a little bit further to back here to try that. He'll tuck back in line. So the run kind of stalled out there. He'll have to sink back into second. At least Zier, in his mind, Zier was a little bit too far back to try to put a challenge on that, though. So 1, 2, 3 will stay.
He saw it immediately. Emily Howe saw it coming and went to the way far outside lane, avoided any side draft in that situation there. Howe goes right to the bottom. Hagen stays up a little bit.
Looks like he's going to try it again here. Try to get the run off the corner and then arc it low. Can't get the run, though, but he is kind of closer. He could send it if he wishes. Maybe just a bit too far back right now. Going to try to do that again, though, through 1 and 2, if he can.
And tried going to the outside lane, but didn't fully commit to it. So he'll lose a little bit more ground.
That's going to allow Zier opportunity to kind of close up just a tad. Hagen again, going to go low this time. Howe not going to go to the wall. Side draft is going to be a plenty here. Howe feels confident she can keep the foot in it. They'll still be side by side here, going in possibly into 1 here. Hagen's going to be on the corner panel. He'll keep his foot in it this time. Now Howe going to go close to the wall, similar to what you saw 2 laps ago. Try to avoid the side draft. But Hagen going to get out at least by a fender. But Howe going to get the run up the corner to neutralize that. Now Hagen going to jump back in line. So veteran presence by Emily Howe. They're knowing how to work these cars. Gave Hagen a bit of false promise, then went to the wall and got the run she needed off the corner. It's about to start lap 20 here. Howe, Hagen, Zier. Philip Snipes was able to get on Christina Ryan while we were watching this battle. Christina Ryan's fallen down to 5th. Then it's Nicholas Pressey, Zach McBride, and Bryce Saucier, top 8. All 8 still on the lead lap. And as they run right now, John Hagen would be the champion. But still over 100 laps to go here. That can easily change with still many pit stops to go.
This is such an interesting battle. There's now been a lot of fall-off between anyone in the top 3. Hagen got loose on 2, though.
Yep. Playing a bit of fire here. It's going to cost him some time.
Again, for Hagen, it's about just finishing 3rd or better.
Yeah. And even then, if he finishes 4th, if Emily Howe wins, then that's still championship favorite. Championship winner. Championship clincher, I should say. And Emily Howe is a strong car. And Emily Howe's not just going to lay over just because there's a championship driver behind. Maybe out of the championship hunt, but 7 wins on the season. She's looking to make it 8. Hagen not being deterred. Still getting a bit pokey, trying just to get the run.
Phenomenal fighting so far.
Pit stop. I was going to say, I think we're going to have the first pit stop here. Yeah, Bryce Osier coming in. Looks like he had some damage. We'll see if he fixes it up, comes back out, or decides to pull it behind the wall. We'll find out in due time. Right now will not affect any of the cars currently running, as it's still early before first stop opens. Zier is losing a bit of, I'm noticing right now, Zier is losing a bit of touch here. She was close to Hagen and Howe, or Howe and Hagen. Now she's starting to fall off a bit. This gap is continuing to grow, and just looking at the times, last time by, for instance, Hagen and Howe were about 2/10 quicker than Zier was. Zier was actually at the top 6. She was the second slowest, I think similar times to Christina Ryan. Well, top 5 is Presley. He's in the top 6. Yeah, that time by as well. Alexia ran a similar time to Philip Snipes, 34.60, while Howe and Hagen ran 34.36 and 3.8 respectively. Well, only Howe with a slight advantage. So tire wear beginning to affect the 89. It makes me wonder, we saw last week in the race last week, Alex Zier, Philip Snipes, they elected to come in early, try a different strategy, try to get off sequence, go for the undercut, see what they can get out of it. And it makes me wonder right now if that strategy's happened, as Zier got a little loose and has coughed up even more time, as she is now falling back into the clutches of Philip Snipes and Christina Ryan. Which is a bit of a reprieve for John Hagen, seeing that his main rival drifting slowly back and getting smaller and smaller in the mirror. In the lap 29, Emily Howe is actually starting to pull away a little bit from John Hagen. Lap times are similar, but it seems the little temps you're seeing are adding up each time by. You see Emily Howe just a 10th faster, like that time by. 34.70 for Emily Howe, 34.71 for John Hagen. And those slow 1-2 tenths, if you will, are adding up, and it's causing the gap to grow a bit. It almost feels a bit demoralizing if you're John Hagen, because you're doing the best you can and you're putting down flyer laps, but that 83 is just a little bit, a tick faster. It's causing the gap to grow. Last time by was a big chunk, though, as Hagen went aggressive in the 3 and 4. And that allowed him to have to open up a bit more. Further back, though, you can see right there, Zier and the Philip Snipes gonna have a chance here for a battle for P3. Philip Snipes' car has come alive late in the run. He's looking to get on that podium here as he'll take the low side. Zier will try to run the middle high groove here. This almost looks like passing her. I was going to say passing standing still, but Zier putting up still a good fight here. So that 98 Tennessee Volunteer machine, that orange machine, will slide up and will get it done. But can Zier answer back here? She'll have a chance to run it down at the corner, but just not close enough. And she'll have to settle for fourth right now at the moment. That is running quick laps here. See in the back here, first pit stop of the night. Well, first pit stop of active strategy, it seems. Nicholas Pressey coming on in. Lap 32, 134, so just above 100 to go here. Will take his first pit stop for fresh tires and fuel. But there's the race leader, Emily Howe. There's second place, John Hagen. When we last left it, it was about half a second, and now it's opened up to 1 second, 1.2 seconds to really put the nail on it here. About to be 1.3. So Hagen is losing time hammer fist. Last time by, Emily Howe running consistent 34.71. John Hagen a 34.81. So advantage Howe. Howe's had the advantage multiple laps. He's really taking care of the tires. And it's showing. Looks like we're gonna have pit stops here. I think Emily Howe and Lilac Zier are both coming in this time by. If the command is correct, we're gonna see those cars peel in. There's Emily Howe coming in. John Hagen, maybe a late decision, saw it coming in, saw her coming in, and is gonna come in as well. Most of the field coming in as well. Philip Snipes, Lilac Zier, all in. Christina Ryan staying out for the bonus point, and she will take the lead. Now you wanna make sure we're getting late calls, probably by Philip Snipes and John Hagen. It was a bit more reactionary, so if they didn't get caught speeding, so that could be a bit of a problem here. And do not want to speed, do not want to miss your box. Losing voluntary time is not important, as Christina Ryan will come on in. 1 lap long for her. All cars away, none of the top 4 got caught for speeding. All make it in and out respectively. Should be worth noting, Zier, though, jumps Philip Snipes in the pit lane, though. Emily Howe was able to capitalize quite nicely there. And see Nicholas Pressey actually going to come and join the battle here. Same thing as Zach McBride. They're going to slot in right in front of Zier and Philip Snipes. Emily Howe and John Hagen will avoid it, as now they will both pass Christina Ryan and will take first and second back. Look how racy it's getting. Pressey on that undercut strategy, looking to try to get on the podium here. Zach McBride has yet to make, actually he has made a pit stop. He made it on lap 23, so he came in the earliest. There's Christina Ryan, and she's going to be in a bit of a hornet's nest here. She'll have the freshest tires, but she made it 3 wide. They're coming out. She'll tuck back in here and kind of just let this happen, as it's Noah's Ark up front here. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all in this little blanket. Pairs of twos, and Zier going to try to make it 3 wide. Trying to get around Zach McBride the quickest she can. Almost gets into the 98. They'll keep it clean. They'll keep it green. And now Zier, Snipes able to get the spot back. This little traffic, but Pressey, the big winner here at the moment. Only got that last step of the podium. There's Zach McBride and Christina Ryan fighting. It's Christina Ryan trying to take advantage of those freshest tires, and she'll get around for 5th. And there's Pressey on the high side, going to get passed by Philip Snipes. Ooh. Looks like Pressey going to try to answer back here. He's going to have a run going into 1. They're still side by side here. Snipes and Pressey. There you can see in the wide shot there. Pressey, though, going to keep a corner penalty. That's going to allow Zier to kind of stay there, too, so Pressey cannot come up, get in the coattails of Philip Snipes. As you'll see here, Zier and Pressey both side by side. Pressey, they're trying to get the run off. I think you may see the pass completed here, going into 1 and 2 here. So you're just going to try to get the run, but keeping his foot in it, keeping it honest. It finally starts to settle out a bit here. Christina Ryan, though, going to get to run that 94 machine as well. We'll see if she can get around quick, because right now, the game plan right now is have to try to win this race. Right now, being 7 seconds back of the leader. It's not going to be an easy task to make this up, and she has to make it one at a time here. There's that Penzo machine trying to get around the 94. Still side by side at the moment. Ryan gonna get the run. Ryan gonna slide up. Ooh. To get the pass done. Christina Ryan now in 5th. Nicholas Pressey in 6th. While we're watching this battle, you're not missing anything up front. Emily Howe has, with the pit stop window, having a fast pit stop, was able to open up another second on John Hagen. Emily Howe, 2.8, about to be 3 seconds basically ahead of John Hagen. And John Hagen is about 4 clear, actually about 3 clear, I should say, a little over 3 clear of this battle, battle we're watching, this little pack here of Philip Snipes, Lilac Zier, Christina Ryan, and Nicholas Pressey. It would also be worth noting as well, as we do now actually have 8 cars back on the racing surface, as it's happened a little bit ago. But if you're noting the timing board and scoring, I did a note that Bryce Osier did take it behind the wall, but he's electing to come back out here because he wants to finish the last race of the season. So not condemning, but congratulating Bryce Osier, trying to finish this race and finish on a good note here. You know, championship hopes are over. Still looking to try to make a good finish here, maybe set up for a next season, or build his own confidence in other series, depending on how he likes to use that momentum.
Not missing a whole lot up front. The gap between Emily Howe and John Hagen is 3.2 seconds. Likewise, battle between Philip Snipes right now in 3rd and Lilac Zier is, between Hagen and Philip Snipes is 2.7. With Philip Snipes and Lilac Zier battling side nose to tail here at the moment. Christina Ryan not far behind.
Yeah. Right now, again, it's all in the Hagen show right now. Even though he probably want to be winning this race, or at least leading this race, he's doing enough to make sure he gets his hand raised at the end and a trophy in one hand and his hand raised in the other. But right now, he's doing all he needs. Zier, though, still, I guess you could say, trying to make the overcut work here with the fresher tires by at least a lap over Zier and Snipes. Trying to reel in this little pack here. And I feel like it could get racy in a minute here. Philip Snipes has a little bit better of a long run car. Zier has a bit better of a short run car. Christina Ryan's kind of in the middle, if you will. Kind of a jack of all trades, strong car in both, like an all right car in both, may not like stronger than the short run and long run cars of both Philip Snipes and Lilac Zier.
Laps continue to tick away here on lap 46 of 134. The marathon, not a sprint. As we watch this battle for the 3rd position, Zier at a little bit of latency there once again. As she sits in 4th position. As things currently sit, Hagen is champion. But so many laps left to go in this race.
Like I said, many pit stops as well. John Hagen, remember, back in Atlanta, he sped. So this is not signed, sealed, and delivered by any stretch of the imagination. One easy mistake, and going from looking to be a champion to being in a situation where I have to try to take the pan out of the fire.
Keeping an eye on this battle for third place, it is the 3-car battle between Snipes, Ziri, and Ryan. And this is that has to be the most creative right now.
Yeah, when your situation's a little bit further back like this, you got to try different strategies, different elements, different what have you. When it's green flag, and it's looking right now to be on pace for a whole green flag run here from start to finish. And cautions still happen. Spins can happen. People who piled in, Iris could throw one, depending on where the caution is. When cautions don't come, you're always sometimes in a situation where you got to have to hope for a little bit of luck or a little bit of strategy to go your way. And for these two, knowing they have to win to at least give themselves a good chance to find a way to roll the dice here. But Ryan going to try to get the run, and she will clear Lilac Zier. So Christina Ryan now up to 4th. Zier down to 5th. Just a little bit of latency there. Blinks for Zier. She's had a little bit throughout the night, but not enough to really affect. Just occasional blinker too. Pit stop window is still a little bit ways away. Well, for everyone except Zach McBride's window should be opening up in a few laps time. But for the rest of the field, pit stop should be around lap 66 to about 70, 65, 70 range. Should be the next window here for pit stop windows. And then it should be about 95 to 100 range, or a little over 100, and then that should get you to finish. So 2 more pit stops on the cards for this field.
Eye on third place is the main battle we're looking at right now. And this is a battle for second in the championship right now, too. With Hagen ahead. This is where things kind of flop a little bit. Zier's not led laps. Christina Ryan has.
Yeah. All right, it was a 1 point. Zier was at least a point ahead.
Yeah.
Christina Ryan. So that obviously leading that laps helped tremendously, but also being ahead on track.
Ryan Lilac Zier will pull up the battle box here. So you can see where everyone's at here in this battle for third. Snipes in third, just outside the screen. Christina Ryan, center of your screen. Lilac Zier not far behind. Christina Ryan with the freshest tires by a lap. But again, have to be a little bit more creative here to make things happen.
Yeah. Creative's the name of the day. But it's only half the battle, because even if they get up ahead, they have to find a way to make John Hagen go the opposite direction, while obviously wrecking, because that would be a penalty. So they have to find a way to get to the front, battle, and maybe in turn, maybe burn up Hagen's stuff, force Hagen into a mistake, what have you. Right now, they have to try to be creative. Looks like he's having a little bit of a connection issue there, a little few blinks there. It looks like he's got it sorted as well. He is getting now hunted down for third, as Christina Ryan is running slightly faster than that 98 machine. So we're 10 laps to go till halfway here. Ryan is still trying to chase down that 98 machine. Gap's closing ever so slightly. Not missing anything up front. Emily Howe is kept a consistent gap on John Hagen. About 3 seconds is the gap. Hagen has closed it a bit. Emily Howe's extended it. Is not closed enough that it's become a battle. That's the thing we have on track at the moment is this little pack we're watching. The thing that's kind of a bit sketchy for Christina Ryan is that 98 machine is blinking a lot more than it's worth. And it can make it a bit challenging to try to pass if you don't know where that 98 machine even is. It can be a bit tough to kind of pick a lane, especially if the car maybe tries to go a bit defensive in a corner or try changing up the lane to try to get it more speed.
Ryan goes to the bottom. Phil Snipes not far away. I think Phil Snipes realizes the situation here. He's going to let Christina Ryan go.
Yeah. Don't want to take out a championship contender here, especially if your connection's a little finicky. So Ryan the third, Snipes the fourth. If Zier gets close, it may also be a switchback too here. But now Christina Ryan's gonna have to try to chase down John Hagen. He's about 5 up the road, 5 seconds, I should say. Which it doesn't look likely she'll get there before the window opens, bearing a Hagen mistake. We'll have to wait and see.
McBride making a pit stop here. It's the first to pit. More pit stops expected about lap 66. Pit stops coming up here very shortly. We will do a smaller to crank it up, get us into that second pit window. seeing pit stops taking place right now. Emily Howe leading pit lane.
Yeah, pit stops.
Outlap's about 63, 64 seconds, thereabouts. Emily Howe stays clear by over 3 seconds to John Hagen.
Yeah, gap was pretty much neutralized there. It was about the same gap coming in and the same gap coming out. We're just past halfway here. Ryan was able to get a further gap from third to fourth, though. She's got a wider gap here, so Ryan firmly in podium position at the moment.
Emily Howe leads. It's Hagen, Ryan, Snipes, and Zier, your top 5. Halfway point is lap 72. There's Bryce Saucier on track, but a few laps down.
72 would be 144, so we're actually already past halfway. So that was at 67.
You're right.
So yeah, all cars still running at the moment. Kind of give us let's do a half race interval here. All cars still running at the moment. 7 cars on the lead lap. Bryce is your only car a lap down at the moment. Emily Howe has taken lead since lap 10, and she has not looked back. And she's kept the gap consistently ahead of John Hagen. Meanwhile, this is a championship race, and going over how they run right now at the moment. Right now, John Hagen needing to finish third or better to clinch the championship is right now doing what he needs to do. Only in second position. Cutting in the gap a little bit, Emily Howe right now, but still holding second position firmly down. If everything finished how it stands, he would be the champion. Christine Ryan, currently in third, would take home second. And Lilac Zier will come home in third of the standings. And Nicholas Presley will take fourth, as he's currently ahead of Zach McBride by over 10 seconds. Fourth, as Rubicon's not here. So we'll see how the second half of this race plays out. Right now, Emily Howe looking good to take her 8th victory of the year. We'll see how it all shakes. Speaking of the 83 car, there she is. She's coming to take lap 73. Most of these cars will also have to take one more pit stop in this race. Probably are looking at the clock and looking how they take it. It would presumably be around 99 to lap 100. And that should get them to the end. Obviously, the more you can go over that distance, the more comfortable you will be, as pushing it close to 33, 32 seems to be near the end of life, but they should be able to comfortably make it home as long as they make it to lap 100, lap 101.
Battle for fourth, heating up as Zier tries to close down a Philip Snipes. She's gotten clear of Bryce Saucier, who's 9 laps down. Everyone trying to push through in this race.
Yeah. Likely a caution that isn't high. But you never know, caution could shake things up here and give maybe a second chance to some of these cars here and neutralize the gap of Emily Howe. There's Zier's next car on her mini-map. Philip Snipes, you just see in the distance that orange machine. Give a nice little onboard shot here. Ruth Camo, the 89 in question. Trying to chase down the flip number variation of her, the 98, just up the road there. Similar line. Feels comfortable that inside line will lead her to the promised land.
Both of them have made their second pit stops in this race, obviously, in lap 66 and 67 respectively. You'll see what lap those pit stops were on. They both lost a spot so far in this race behind Christina Ryan. The gap is closing.
It is. Albeit slowly, it is closing. Makes me wonder if Zero gets close. Will she'll have to try a different line because Philip Snipes is running a similar line to her, or in that low line. And that kind of Philip Snipes' connection's kind of held out here. He's not going to really be as willing to concede. So Zero may have to try a bit of a different lane here. Maybe a lane she's a bit uncomfortable in order to try to make that move around for that position. Or at the very least hope that 98 machine kind of goes up the track a little bit and makes a mistake.
Right now, Zero's closing in a little bit. It's not a horrible effort right now. She just needs to make sure she gets a good run going into turn 3 and 4. Or going into 1 and 2, whichever, wherever she gets a good run. Needs to be able to make sure she can get at least a nose ahead into the corner. Plateauing out here. Snipes drifts up. Will give Zero a good chance here. But Zero had to get out of it because she was drifting out wide.
She's going to have her chance to attack. She'll have the lane she wants. I think she'll be able to get it done here. She's going to try to slide up just a bit. And she'll plant it, and she'll get the spot. So put Zero up to 4th and put Philip Snipes down to 5th. And Sear has a long way to go to try to catch Christina Ryan. Gap is about a second slower than the gap Hagen has to Howe. And that Penzo machine is quite far away from Zier in question, so Zier gonna have to try to put the foot down here, try to find a way to get caught up here.
Keeping each other honest at the moment. But right now for Zier, it's a matter of just hoping that something strange happens in this race.
Yeah, because right now, it's a weird spot. She honestly feels like she may benefit from a caution or something to get this field grouped up. But you could say the same thing about Christina Ryan and John Hagen. Well, maybe not John Hagen. Well, yes and no for John Hagen. As John Hagen, wouldn't like the caution to get bunched up because it would be kicking a hornet's nest, but and putting himself in a spot where you can have more aggressive drivers behind. But on the same flip of the coin, though, it would neutralize the now 6-second gap between Howe and Hagen that has slowly opened up between each stage. I mean, each pit stop stage.
If you're Hagen, you're okay with this.
You're okay with it, but the racer in him, honestly, it feels like partially he's happy, but also in a situation where he's like, well, maybe I'd like to challenge Howe one more time.
If you're a smart driver, you're not thinking that. because you're thinking championship. If you're a smart driver, you don't risk it. Like, a race win's not worth it. When you have the championship in hand, it's not worth it.
Correct. It's correct, but again, drivers are different breeds when it comes to mentality.
There are smart drivers and not smart drivers. I think Hagen's pretty smart. I don't think he's gonna risk it. I don't think he would care.
I think he's smart, but I think at the same time, there's a bit of pride. Obviously, again, he's happy where he is. I'm not saying he's going to try to do that, but I am throwing out the point there that if push came to shove, a caution were to come out, and he has a chance to try to beat Emily Howe, the main rival you could argue in this series that he has had, and has had many a duel with her, and has not been able to come out top, that gnaws on you a bit. Regardless, championship obviously smooths those blues, but at the same point, if one more chance, I'm not Hagen may take it.
So here back down pit lane here. McBride 1 lap down, 6 cars on the lead lap, and firmly so, with at least one more pit stop left in this race. Gap between Hagen, Ryan, and Zier pretty steady and level here. 4.9 between all three of them. Keep an eye on Philip Snipes here in 5th position. Zier in 4th. And so's your on pit lane for some more extended service. Zach McBride again firmly 1 lap down at the moment.
Zach McBride should be coming up to his pit stop window here, as last pit on 58, about give or take 8-9 laps before the rest of the field here. So his window is coming in soon here. So we'll see that 47 come in, and when the 47 comes in, probably about 10 laps left before we see the last of this field take their final pit stop of the night.
And the strange part for McBride is that he is not going to be able to make it on one more stop. You have to make a splash nest at the end.
You would be correct. But he's done that strategy throughout the season. He takes comfort over stretching. That's what he's taken here.
There's Zier following, I think that's Zach McBride at the moment, trying to get around him. Again, pit stop is expected to happen about lap 99, lap 100. To get to the end of this race. McBride gets out of the way. Allows Zier through. Philip Snipes trying to follow. To put McBride a lap down.
Yep.
And this is the closest battle on track at the moment. 0.6 of a second away between these two. Zier driving into the corner. Snipes trying to follow. McBride trying to keep in tow. Now it's a 7.6 second lead in this race. She last put on lap 7, so mathematically she can make it to lap 101.
Right.
Hagan penalty 56, so he's limit is lap 100. Christina Ryan, like 0, lap 101 is their limit. Nick Pressey out of this race. First retirement after 88 laps. So he's going to try to get past his team boss. Sitting 12 laps down, has a few laps to go as McBride comes in now. Pit stops are impending. John Hagan has lost a little bit of time to Christina Ryan. Christina Ryan shaved that gap down to 4 seconds.
Yes.
It feels like very slow progress for the 80 car. And still so much work that needs to be done.
And even then, if she catches and gets around, then she has to try to chase down Emily Howe, who's even farther up the road.
Yeah, that's a very hard ask. Hagan entered this race in, I think, the least stressful situation. Having the championship lead, knowing that it's on the other contenders to get ahead of him. And so far, they've not been able to. Emily Howe locks up points for most laps led tonight. So that kind of kneecaps exactly how far Hagan could possibly extend that gap. Put aside the points as they run right now. Hagan's got the points lead. Christina Ryan currently holding on to the second position in the standings. And for Lilacs here, the only major shift in the point standings is at the top.
Yeah.
Close battle once again between Zier and Snipes, with pit stops looming. Battle for fourth place, Zier in fourth, Snipes in fifth.
We know Philip Snipes has a good long run car here.
Yeah.
He's shown it. Alex Zier has a little bit of a better short run car. As the run's coming close to an end here, Philip Snipes wants to maybe get ahead before the pit stop window firmly comes open, and it's a mad scramble to get down the pit lane.
Side by side. Lap 100, 35 laps to go here at Homestead. And they are still side by side. A little bit of latency between both these drivers.
Should be worth noting at the very least right now, I'm listening to Emily Howe's kind of on board. She is cutting the throttle, trying to save fuel here.
Just about everyone is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about everyone is at this point.
Yeah, aggressively cutting here.
Well, the issue is that like, they would have been right on the edge of making it to the end of the race at the normal window. We're on lap 101 now, and nobody in the top 5's pit.
Well, Emily Howe is coming in this time by in. I can confirm that much, as she is coming on in. Money stop of the night. Do not want to speed. Do not want to make a mistake here.
I would assume Hagan would probably follow here, not too far behind.
He's coming in.
Yeah,
and
that made sense.
And he gets it woe down in time, too, so does not get clocked. Christina Ryan will stay out one more here. Get firmly more comfortable in the window, lead another lap, even though she's already got the bonus point for the first time she led a lap. So just leading for pride and strategy.
Christina Ryan leads. The rest of those on the lead lap have already come down pit lane.
Hagan inbox successfully here. No overshoot from him.
And in comes Christina Ryan.
Yeah, want to make sure you fill the car up correctly. Don't underfuel it. Take it in your hands, overfill it if you have to. And he is away. Christina coming in. She's not going to be the last pit stop of the night because Bryce Sosi will have to pit one more time along with Zach McBride. But for the lead lap cars, this will be the last pit stop of the night. The 80 machine. And away she goes. I'll get around. Keep an eye on the left of your screen. Maybe you'll see Hagan as he's coming through one right now. There he goes. Just a little glimpse of that National Grid machine. There he is. He goes. He flies. We'll see the gap interval here between Hagan and Ryan. Oh, Hagan hits the wall. He got a snap there. And that could have been good night right there. Good night, Irene. But luckily, Hagan will hold the car in the right direction here. And the gap will be a little over 3 seconds here. Almost close to 4. So that's game plan for with 30 to go here. That's game plan for Ryan to try to get ahead of Hagan and then maybe hope something happens. Well, the battle that will not end. Zier and Snipes still kind of close here. Zier, though, using a short run pace to get away from Philip Snipes. Gonna try to push as much as she can here. Christina Ryan. Again, good recovery. I wouldn't say recovery drive per se, but she is the biggest mover. Up 3 spots from where she qualified. She's gained all the time from a poor quality. Remember, she was the slowest out of the 3 championship runners. He's gotten up to 3rd. Looking at times, John Hagan is kind of reeling in Emily Howe at a quick rate, but is reeling in. Last time by, actually favored Howe, so I get may actually grow here instead. Ryan again is slightly running faster than John Hagan, but not at a rate to catch. But as Emily Howe comes off 3 and 4 here, we're about to hit 25 to go here on the season finale of the AdminBoxx Cup Series. It is championship night here. 3 drivers came to the night. John Hagan, Christina Ryan, Lilac Zier, all within a chance to win the championship. John Hagan had the lead in the standings by 19 over Lilac Zier and 20 points over Christina Ryan. Controlled his own destiny. All he had to do was finish on the podium to ensure the championship would be coming home with him. And if he finished 4th, Christina Ryan and Lilac Zier would have to win the race in order to ensure the championship did not go to John Hagan. John Hagen led the opening laps. John Hagen did fall back to second here. And right now, 4 seconds drift Emily Howe. But he's doing what he needs to do. Holding the fort down to 52. And if he can keep the spot for 24 more laps, he will be the first AdminBoxx Cup Series champion here in ABN. Someone tried to spoil that part. You can see in the distance that yellow machine, Christina Ryan. Currently 8 back. She's going to need some help, a caution, something to come out. Same thing with Lilac Zier if they want to try to upset John Hagen here and maybe bring a title home for their either respective camps. Kristen Ryan is looking to become a 2-time world champion in ABN competition. Lilac Zier looking for her first world championship in ABN competition. With 23 to go, John Hagen doing what he needs to do in that National Grid machine, and is reeling in Emily Howe. Gap's 3.70 right now. Last time by, Howe ran at 34.01. John Hagen at 33.70. Was the Vests on track? Obviously, will that pace continue to hold as the run goes on here? As these drivers are going to push to the limit? We'll find out in 22 laps time. Well, we also have this little break in the action here as well. We'd like to take the opportunity to thank anyone here watching us here on a Wednesday night. The AdminBoxx Cup Series finale here, season finale. Thank you for joining us here, and hope your evening has been quite enjoyable, and hopefully this lap, 22 laps, can be quite enjoyable to the viewer and you at home as well. Seems every time I'm watching that timing board here, Hagen gains a 10th or 2, then loses a 10th or 2. He's kind of just running same laps, similar laps, but not really gaining or losing enough to really catch that 83. $20 to go.
That's 20 laps to go. Gap's definitely come down. 3.5 the gap.
Maybe it's a fuel situation, because I heard Hagen just cut his engine there.
It shouldn't be, because they should be safe.
You would think, but Hagen cut the throttle there. Very clearly. Yeah, he's cutting it again. He's lifting heavily going into 1 and 3. See if we can listen to Howe here too. Maybe that explains why the gap fell so much. No, Howe's lifting, but she's not cutting. Very odd. Even then, with Hagen cutting, he's still catching. So it's very weird. There you can see, it's been a while. It's the closest it's been ever since the first pit stop window. And it's beginning to fall. Emily Howe, 34.43. John Hagen, a 33.99. That is not Emily Howe's speed. Considering her best laps, even at this point in the stage, we're still in the 33 bracket. She's doing something. Something is not popping right on her screen, or something's not popping right in her math. And she's doing something here to ensure she gets safely to the end here. Gap's now under 3 seconds. Brings up a good point, because remember, some of these drivers do use maybe AI fuel fill up, crew chief, what have you. Maybe they're a little bit too aggressive. Maybe they underfueled it just a tad. And now they're not hitting the numbers they need to hit. That's what I was kind of saying at the last pit stop, since the run was going to be so close to the finish. We saw the window be 33, 34, and we saw all the cars electing to save to surely get in. It makes me wonder if they cut the throttle. Like, again, maybe there's a slight fuel issue here. We'll have to keep an eye on the lap times here, but Emily Howe still running in the 34.4 bracket. John Hagen running in the 34.1s. Christina Ryan also in 34.1s as well. So it looks like the fall is average. Zach McBride in for his final stop, by the way. He's coming on down the pit lane. So he should now, presumably, unless we see emergency service, should be the last car to take his stop here. That gap is now 2.5. Now it looks like it's stabling out a little bit friendly Howe, though. As tires are kind of falling off for Hagan and Ryan, their times are falling up. Howe is held consistently in that 34 bracket, and now it looks like it's going to kind of plateau, if you will. The lines are going to cross. Let's see that time by 34.51 Emily Howe, 34.34 John Hagan, 34.20 Christina Ryan.
This is really odd.
By the 3. Yeah. Like looking even in a speed in the corner, she's not hitting it as high.
Yeah, Christina's faster than the leaders right now.
Yeah.
But it's not by enough to meaningfully close in that gap with 13 laps to go. Hagan and Hal were level on times there, down to the 100th.
And even the thing is, even if Howe wanted, presumably, to back up Hagan in the Ryan...
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, because Hagan would have to fall to 4th. And Zier is currently 14 seconds adrift of Howe.
Yep.
So it wouldn't matter in that regard either.
Yeah, it would be... Because the race leader gets 180 points, second's 170, then I think it's 165 for third. If I'm correct on that. Yeah, 165 for third.
Yeah, I'll confirm that as well.
And because Hagan and Ryan have both led laps, they both get the same bonus points, so it would close the gap down to 5, but...
Not enough.
Yeah, you would need Hagan in 4th. Christina would have to win. Hagan would still win on tiebreaker.
Yeah, because one win over... Because Christina did win, but it was a shootout.
It was a shootout win, so it didn't count.
Yeah, not an official points-paying race. So tiebreaker still Hagan.
Yeah.
Hagan would have the tiebreaker over Zier as well for the same reason if something were to come to that, because Hagan, 1 win, Zier, no wins.
Actually, it would be very interesting in that situation, no? Because Zier hadn't led laps, so yeah, she'd still be 4 points behind if Hagan finished 3rd. Yeah, this is very weird. Hagan down to 1.7 seconds, the gap there. Christina Ryan still...
Yeah,
and her and Hagan are running identical times. This is so interesting coming this in to go.
35.02. The only other thing I can think of is... But Emily Howe would not throw away a win for a championship driver to win somewhere in real NASCAR in that regard. So she wouldn't do that either. So we'll find out. Obviously,
this is all interesting.
Yeah, we'll find out, obviously, as if you're new here, top 3, get interviews at the very least. So we'll hear from Emily Howe as long as she holds a top 3 spot. So we'll hear from her, and she'll give us at least maybe some insight into why she's doing this, but we're a bit stumped up here in the booth.
It's so interesting.
Again, unless she underfueled, that's the only thing I can think of. Her AI, or she underfueled it, and she's now having to try to make sure that thing safely comes home. That time, though, she picked it up, 34.66, but Hagan and Ryan were faster. Yeah. One last reminder, if you are new here, it is the final race season, but just in case, there are no green-white checkers. If a caution were to come out within 5 to go, the race would be done. Eight to go. 3.469 Howe, 3.443 Hagan, 3.50 Ryan, and then so Hagan is coming, but is he making quick enough inroads? He's making 2 times a lap. Would that be enough? Oh, he's got it with under a second here, almost.
1.13 and counting. 8 to go.
It's going to be just at a second once they go into 1. Under a second now. Keeps gaining 2 times a lap. He should get there. Getting and passing, obviously, said more times than I can count, are two different things. He's coming. This will be indicative. If he's crossing the line around the 8/10 mark.
7/10 now.
Yeah, 7/10. It's going to fall just a bit here off corner, but. So 8 to 6 to 4 to 2 to 0. At this rate, he should be knocking on the door with 3 to 2 laps to go at the rate he's going.
Again, dirty air is going to be a factor here a little bit.
Yeah, and remember, John Hagen's not had to deal with that for many laps.
Yeah, have to get adjusted to that. So right now, and it's plateaued. The gap is plateaued. 7/10 is where he's stuck.
Makes me wonder if he'll try a different line here, possibly. And again, this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. You got the chance at a victory here. Smart consensus and say just take second. Don't press. Don't try to wreck the car trying to go for that win. But at the same point, the win's just right there up the road.
Hagen is now slower than Hal.
Yep. Maybe the dirty air effect there. He may have to try a different line. Four to go. That time by, Ryan was the fastest out of the three. Actually, now it's slow, so I didn't update yet. Hagen was the fastest. 6-1, 6-9 for Howe, 7-4 for Ryan, all in the 34 bracket. Ooh, bit of a bobble there by Hagen. That's going to cost him some time. Yeah, now he's trying to complete a different line here.
He's got to do something if he's going to go for this race win, because it's been laid up to him here. Like, it's not one of those things where, like, he's going out of his way to make something happen. It's been laid up here for him to grab it.
Look how much time he gained there with the clean air. He's going to try it again, high line here. He's getting the run he needs off the corner here. We'll see if he gets that run again. 6-8, 6-7. Yeah, he's gunning up here. This line switch is what he needed.
Does Emily react to it?
Will Howe cover it off? No, she won't. Hagen again going high. Had to let up just a little bit here. Not going to get as strong a run. 2 to go. Hagen stick with what's working, or does he try to duck low? He'll stay high again.
Top three off in 3 seconds.
Oh, car a little loose, but he's going to keep the run in it.
And now making sure not to move all the way up the track, too. Making sure that Hagen didn't immediately get draft. Didn't want to give him any tow. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Homestead.
Hagen's going to have a chance. He's going to have to set up for 3 and 4, though. That's going to be a setup point here. Use 1 and 2 to set up for 3 and 4.
One chance for Hagen to try to take the championship with the race win. Howe goes to the top lane.
Yeah, going to cover that off. That may be all she wrote.
Going down 3 and 4 for the final time. Howe goes high. Hagen goes low.
Hagen just a little bit too far back. Going to try to slide up.
Too far back there. Emily Howe will end with a 50% win rate. She'll win at Homestead. But John Hagen is the stock car world champion of 2023.
They'll be very excited with that right now. Parton probably wishes he could best Emily Howe, but that championship's going to be bittersweet. Christina Ryan comes home in 3rd. Lilac Zier comes home in 4th. Philip Snipes will come home in 5th. McBride 6th. Saucier 7th. Pressy 8th. So, unofficially, obviously, Saddington, obviously changed, Pedley's, what have you. But John Hagen is looking to be your champion here. Christina Ryan will come home in 2nd. Lilac Zier will be 3rd. How you'll see Burnett down on the front stretch here, and John Hagen will join the party. The man from Moses Lakes, Washington, came in as a rookie, had a strong shootout, put it on the radar. You could see him during that. You could put him on the radar. You're like, okay, this man's got something. And he came out, took him a while to get that first win in ABN competition, and he finally got it last week. And he took advantage of the circumstance, the opportunity, and great running. And he will hoist the title here in Miami, as he's going to burn that engine until it probably explodes.
Phenomenal job by John Hagen, world champion of 2023 in the ABN Stock Car World Championship competition here at the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. We'll hear from our defending from our world champion, our new world champion, as well as our race winner and podium finishers here tonight. A wild drive to end the season. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. John Hagen already lined up and ready to go. We'll talk to our new world champion. John Hagen. This is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy?
I have a copy.
New world champion for the ABN stock car competition in 2023. A phenomenal battle came down to the last lap here between you and Emily Howe, but it's a world championship for you. Walk us through how you're feeling tonight. Champion of the world in 2023.
I'm feeling amazing. This was a year of learning this car. I came into this not knowing anything about this car, and first half of the season was really learning, and it really started clicking at Atlanta. And I just wanted to ride momentum through the playoffs because I had gotten consistently better every race, and this is what I was hoping for. I was just hoping for a solid, clean race today. P2 was all I needed to for sure lock it, and I wanted that win. I wanted it. It looked like Emily saved a little less fuel than I had. I oversaved like a dummy. I had an extra lap in the tank, but whatever. But yeah, it's awesome. World champs, I guess.
Even this, like your first win in ABN competition came just last week at Darlington. You followed it up with securing the world championship here tonight. We talk about momentum and how much it builds confidence here. We've seen your performances, across ABN and HTO competition. How much does this mean, especially going into, the HTO Cup Series competition and going back to ovals now, Indianapolis on Monday? How are you feeling going into that? You've got a world championship now. How much does this kind of buoy your confidence and your spirits there, obviously, as racing continues on into the fall?
It boosts it greatly. I mean, I feel like I've grown as a racer. Obviously, there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of stuff to learn, but that's the goal. And we're going to chase championships while we're learning. And I don't know. I'm just ready for the season.
Well, as one season ends, another kicks into high gear. John Hagen, champion of the world in 2023 in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. Before we let you go, though, and let you celebrate your new championship, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, John, the floor is yours. Congratulations on a phenomenal season. Consistency pays off here. Race win last week, and now another podium and a championship to boot. Some hard work coming home to Jacob Shingle Racing.
I want to shout out the man himself, Jacob Shingle. Again, painting me up, getting me in here, putting faith in me, hoping I could do my best, and I went out and did that. Thank you to y'all for running this series, putting on wonderful shows week in, week out. Thanks to E83 for throwing together those setups. They've been wonderful all year. I know some people hate them, but I liked them. And shout out to my beautiful girlfriend. I know she watched this race. And shout out to y'all for throwing this together again.
Absolutely a phenomenal job. John Hagen, champion of the world, the Knightsdale, North Carolina native. First championship in ABN competition. Hopefully get to see some more hard work come to that Jacob Shingle Racing team here as we finish 2023. John, again, enjoy the race win. Celebrate it. Obviously, we get to see you again on Monday here very shortly, but enjoy the race win. Enjoy the race win from last week, obviously carrying over to a championship here tonight. Enjoy it all. We get to see you again very shortly.
Thank you.
That was John Hagen, world champion in 2023. We'll talk next to our race winner, Emily Howe. 8 wins on the season, a 50% win rate for the Prismatic Motorsports driver. Emily, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy?
Hello.
What a drive. 8 wins on the season. Obviously, missing a couple races takes you out of championship contention there, but ending up the season the strongest way possible with a race win. Walk us through it, and walk us through that last stanza. Giving up a lot of time there. Was fuel saving a huge factor there at the end?
Yeah, I forgot to turn off the auto fuel on that last pit stop, so I was about a gallon or two short. So I had to save pretty big there that last stint, and just kind of, I was at a point where I was good on fuel. I just wanted to have that cushion to make sure. So I probably could have stopped the bleeding at about 2 seconds or so, but I just wanted to make sure and have the tires. So not too much of a worry from the cockpit, just trying to make sure I was good to go and really have that little bit of extra as insurance.
Obviously, with how this track is and how everything sort of developed, multiple lanes used tonight. Everyone had to use all of it tonight to close in this battle for the race win. You know, this car, a car you're very familiar with between Winstel and now ABN Cup. Ending out the season with the win, how much does that sort of solidify how your season's been? 8 wins this season for somebody that hadn't raced an ABN prior to this season starting. Now, I think 10 career wins in ABN competition across a 5-month span. What does that say as far as just how your season's gone and carrying that through the rest of 2023? I know Prismatic's got some stuff going on, and I know that there's still a lot of projects planned going in the next year. How much does that kind of just carry the momentum and kind of lift the spirits with a win here to end the season?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you know, it takes a lot to get these cars around and really consistently be quick in them. So always good, even if, you know, it hasn't been the stiffest of competition at the front for me. It's still been a really fun season, and, you know, get to battle a lot of cool people and, you know, get those long runs in and those long green flag races, and, you know, test out the strategy and test out consistency. So it's been a lot of fun. And obviously, you know, missing that first race of the chase kind of put me behind. And so really it's just been a factor of just finishing up the season with wins and, you know, having fun.
Well, it doesn't get a lot more fun than winning again for the 8th time this season. A dominant performance, most wins, most pole positions, most podiums here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. Emily Howe, race winner tonight at Homestead. Before we let you go, though, let you celebrate the race win and obviously get ready for the end of the Winstel Cup Series season coming up here very soon. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Emily, the floor is yours. Congratulations on the effort, and a huge thank you for supplying the setups for this season. Very fun watching these cars move around across the 16-race season.
Yeah, I want to just give a big thanks as always to all of our sponsors and Prismatic Motorsports. Everyone who helped put this together, AdminBoxx for putting on the series, and ABN, and, you know, everyone behind the scenes who helps broadcast and put everything together, and all the people who showed up week to week, and the fans who came out and watched and enjoyed a good season.
Absolutely, Ken said much better myself there. Emily Howe, race winner tonight, ends this championship, I believe, in 7th place in the standings. After missing the first race there at Charlotte. What a way to end the season with a race win. Record number of wins across any ABN competition. 8 wins in a single season. A new ABN record. Emily, enjoy the race win, and hopefully we get to talk to you again very soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
That was Emily Howe, race winner tonight. We have one more interview lined up, and that is 3rd place finisher tonight and 2nd in the Stock Car World Championship, Christina Ryan. Her thoughts, obviously, a bit disappointed to miss out on the championship, but a phenomenal performance nonetheless from the 80 car tonight. Christina, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy.
Hi, what's up?
Obviously, a good performance there. Everything sort of started lining up there at the end when it mattered the most. Unfortunately, just a little too far off. Walk us through, obviously, your race tonight. 2nd place in the World Championship standings as everything kind of settles. But walk us through that race for you, and if there's anything you could have possibly done to close in on the top 2.
One sec, I'm getting a Coke here. No, not really. You know, it's just kind of been the story of the season. We just haven't quite had enough speed to go get it done. Had one of those, you know, I don't think I'd call it a curse because I just didn't drive good enough, but one of those deals where you win the preseason deal and get all hyped up and then just kind of mid all year. Not to say we sucked. I drove my ass off, so I did everything I could. Pretty happy with the performance. It just didn't get the points we needed them, and didn't come in with the cushion like I think I needed for that. But you know, is what it is.
You think about, how the season's gone. Obviously, second place in the World Championship. This is a car that we know that you enjoy a lot. You race, obviously, at ABN. You race in Winstell. What's the takeaway from this season? Finishing second again in the World Championship. You're already a world champion in one discipline. What do you take from this season and apply it going forward? Because we know, Winstell season's still going on. What do you kind of take from this season momentum-wise and apply it to your other competitions here?
I don't know. I'm locked in the top 35 in Winstell at this point, with only like one race to go. So I'm kind of just battling more for top 20. So I'm already above where I thought I'd be for that. So I guess it's just kind of thinking about next year. We had a year to learn these cars with the new handling, and hopefully we get a new version of it to learn as well. So I don't want to say I'm ready for next year, because the way things are in iRacing, it feels like every time we get back to it, the cars are completely different, because it's either a brand new car or they play with the physics, which is good. It's always trying to get closer to the real deal. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot to learn. I don't know about momentum. Because I feel like we kind of lost momentum more than we gained it this year, but that was expected. Still really strong. A lot of up and down points, but I was looking at the points and I got something like ridiculous, like 17 top 10s or something. So I still think if there was no chase, we would have ended up about here anyway. So I don't think we ever had a championship, car. I think it was just the people we were fighting for the championship changed. We needed some things to go our way, and needed to capitalize, and had a nice battle with Lilac, so that was nice. Glad to secure second place. Glad we went out and led a lap, and we're around. At the end, we were gaining on Hagen. We just needed like another stint or two to get there, I think, and hope he'd burn his stuff up, which he did the one time, but just wasn't quite enough. But P3 no stripe, P2 in the championship. Didn't fall off the face of the earth, so yeah, second sucks, but it's not as bad as 28th. So
well, obviously one season ends, there's still a lot more coming up here, obviously, as we go from late summer, early fall into the winter time. Obviously we get to be in the booth on Monday for the HTL Cup Series, but before I let you go and let you obviously enjoy your weekend coming up here, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Christina, the floor is yours. Again, congratulations on a fantastic season, winning the 100th race in ABN competition history, the preseason shootout there, and then obviously podiums upon podiums, 15 top 10 finishes is how you ended off the season, most of anybody in this series. So still some accolades to carry with you as we end the season.
Yeah, shout out to you two for putting it on. I'm sure it was a fun one to watch. I saw some friends popping in chat at the end. I didn't check chat during, but I looked after. So shout out to everybody who popped out and supported me. Big shout out to James for putting me in his car and letting me win a lot of money. So I appreciate that. Be happy to come back and try and do it again next year. Shout out to the two cuties behind me who are here for a little bit. And congrats to Hagen. He did a good job and did what he needed to do when he needed to do it. So hats off to him. Congrats to M on the win. And I think that's everybody.
Christina Ryan, obviously the World Championship last year in the open wheel scene, missing out by 25 points on the Stock Car World Championship this season. Christina, obviously still a phenomenal season. A lot of accolades to take with you, and we get to see you again on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, and obviously we'll be seeing you very, very soon here on ABN.
Hell yeah, see you then.
That was Christina Ryan, third place finisher here tonight. We got one more interview lined up, and we're going to talk to the other championship contender, third place in the championship standings, as all things said and done finish for Lilac's here tonight. Fourth place for her on the road. Lilac, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Got a copy.
Hey there.
Alrighty, obviously not the result that you were hoping for here tonight. You look through how this race sort of just turned out. Walk us through it for you. Obviously, third place in the championship. Considering where you were, obviously when you joined ABN, a lot of improvement, a lot of progress. We've seen that across ARCs and ABN competition and HTL competition as well. Walk us through that surge for you, and if there's anything you possibly could have done to possibly capitalize on the momentum that you had been building over the last couple of months.
Yeah, I don't know. This was a weird race. I just had no feel for the car. Like in practice, I was nowhere. Turned a pretty good qualifying lap, but then I don't know. Just after like 10 laps, the car just felt like it had no grip again. So something I was doing wrong. Clearly, other people made it work better than me. So just tried to hang in there and stretch the fuel, and everyone else did too. So I didn't gain anything that way either. Just kind of one of those days. Just nothing I could do to go faster. Had a good battle there for a little while with Christina before she went out and pulled away. Had a good battle with Phil. Not sure what happened to him at the last stop. He fell off after the pit stop. Before that, it was really fun. Yeah, I don't know. Just really didn't have anything tonight. But made chase. Had a good chase. Didn't get the championship, but I don't think I expected that anyway. Just wasn't expecting Emily to miss races. So then that opened up an opportunity that wasn't there before, but John took advantage of it, and he earned it. Good for him. So happy that that the battle up front looked cool, seemed like good on the broadcast. So yeah, that's all I got.
Obviously, you look into this, one season ends, but there's still a lot of stuff going on. We get to see you again on Saturday night for the ARCs Saturday Night Showdown series, where you are in the chase. You have another championship battle coming up here, and then we've seen your pace just evolve and continue to improve into a perennial contender for podiums and race wins across HTL and ARCs. How much obviously what has changed for you in terms of getting that pace and seeing that improvement in that increasing consistency across the last couple months? Because again, third place in the championship right now, looking really solid, obviously, in other competitions as well that we broadcast here Saturdays and Mondays. Walk us through what's been the big change for you going into the last couple months, and how do you keep that rolling, obviously, as we get into the wintertime?
Probably just getting a better feel for how much steering input you can get away with before you burn the tires up, and figuring out how to go fast without steering so much. You really have to, on ovals in iRacing, you really have to baby the tires, but you can't baby them the way I was doing it before, where you go slow and everyone leaves you in the dust. You got to figure out a way to get the car to rotate without steering so much, and then you can still go fast and balance it on the right rear. And obviously, there are people who are really good at it, and I can't quite do it like that, but I've gained in that regard anyway.
Well, it's worked out for you. Obviously, your average finish has improved across the board. You've gone from a driver that's typically, battling for top 5s, top 10s, to a driver that we expect to see battling for podiums and potential race wins here. Obviously, you got your first race win on Saturdays in the SNS series, and obviously we get to see some good things happen when you're in that 50 car for HTL competition. Obviously, one season ends here, but still some stuff going on. Before we let you go and get ready for the weekend coming up, though, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congratulations on a phenomenal season. Third place in the points. A phenomenal battle all season long.
Yeah, thanks to you for broadcasting, running the league, and thanks to Kevin for also commentating. Thanks to all the competitors and all the fans and my friends. And, go at it again sometimes in the next one.
Absolutely. Lilac's here. Fourth place finish tonight. Third place in the championship. A phenomenal run this season for that 89 crew for Slowbird Racing. Lilac, enjoy the weekend coming up, and good luck this weekend at Las Vegas.
Thanks.
That was our championship contenders and race winner here tonight. A phenomenal drive by everyone involved tonight. Again, here's the results as they run on your screen. See if we can show the points everyone scored here tonight. Emily Howell, John Hagen, Christina Ryan, Lilac Zier, top 4. Philip Snipes in 5th. Zach McBride finished 6th. Bryce Saucier ends up 7th place here this evening. Nick Presley rounding out the field of 8 cars tonight. As we end the championship campaign. See if we can pull the championship up here. John Hagen, defending world champion. The new world champion of the world. John Hagen, 3,684 points. 25 ahead of Christina Ryan. Lilac Zier sitting in 3rd place. A further 9 points adrift. Zach McBride ended up 4th place in the championship standings. With the Presley's early retirement. Nick Presley still recovering to take the top 5. Ruby Acosta drops to 6th after missing this race. Emily Howell up to 7th place ahead of Josh Gaiman. Callie Height, Caitlin Height, Blake Henderson, and Toby Estes rounding out the top 12, all those playoff drivers. Saucier, 13th place, the best of the rest, ahead of Lily Peltier Sharp, Ryan Pinnell, Philip Snipes, Alfred Denny, and Elrish George rounding out the top 18. It's all props to John Hagen, the stock car world champion of 2023. But to see more action here tomorrow night, I'll be in the booth for the beginning of the ABN Hyper Formula competition from Suzuka. All that goes live 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night here on ABN Esports 1. And then we'll be live again on Saturday for the RX8 Saturday Night Showdown competition from Las Vegas. Sunday, me and Kevin will be back in the booth for the RX8 Squared Cup Series as we head, I believe we're heading to
Vegas, because that's the next
Vegas.
race.
Yeah.
Vegas,
So,
Homestead, and then Martinsville, and then Phoenix.
yeah, so we're going to be in Vegas both Saturday and Sunday, and then we head over to Indianapolis on Monday for the HTL Cup Series. So a lot of stuff coming up here over the next few days. Obviously, the PEC race, I'll be doing the 4 hours of Interlagos, 7 a.m. to noon on Saturday as well. So a lot of action coming up here, especially this weekend. We're glad everyone joined us here for an amazing Wednesday night of racing. The championship has been decided for the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. We're glad you got to be with us and experience it, and thank you all so much for being with us here tonight. On behalf of everyone here for ABN Studios, AdminBoxx, all our partners, E83 Flying Machines, Agent Inc., we appreciate everything everyone's done all season long. On behalf of Milk Commentator Kevin Young, I'm Carmen Sienna. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow night, we'll see you at Suzuka. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun in the week ahead. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Be there.